And I want to welcome you to the Labor Community Strategy Center's Wow Soul Theater, this movement center. My name is Barbara Lott-Holland, and I am the Associate Director here. And I want to talk a little about the journey that got me here. I have been on a 25-year journey of developing into a conscious organizer. I have a conscience, but what kind of conscience? I don't know. I just heard the word and I thought I knew what it was. But thanks to the Strategy Center and the leadership of Eric Mann, the Strategy Center saw something in me that I did not see in myself. And I'm so appreciative of that. The ability of being an effective leader. I mean, there's a difference between being a leader and being a leader to the grocery store, but effective leader. Being brought up in a Southern religious background, leadership was always awarded to the men, unless the leadership of the kitchen. The kitchen, not the whole house, but the kitchen, you got it. And even after moving to Los Angeles and working, even in the workplace, men were still dominating that leadership role. I could only achieve a minor role. And that was after jumping through hoops, pulling myself up by this bootstrap that I kept looking for. I never really could find it, but I kept looking for it. I was never encouraged to be, I was never encouraged to be a leader. But that changed when I came to the Strategy Center. I had self-esteem, but what to do with it, how to really make it pop out. That's a new word for me, pop out. My journey here began at the Strategy Center when they asked me, I didn't ask, they asked me to be a part of the highest leadership body of their volunteer organization, the Bus Riders Union. They asked me to be on the planning committee and replace one of the members that had to leave because of medical issues. I was impressed and overwhelmed, but hell yes, yes, it took me 3 buses and 2 hours of transportation from my job, but I was here faithfully every Wednesday night. But it didn't stop there. They encouraged me to run for an official membership on the planning committee at the yearly voting, which was done at the monthly membership meeting. Well, I was like, wow, I've been to the meetings, yes, but it even just stopped there. I mean, this was real training. I had to write a speech. Okay, good, write a speech, give it to the voting members. Oh, no. Then I had to stand up in front of the membership and explain to them why they should vote for me at the planning committee and why I wanted to be on the planning committee. Whew, okay, I was nervous, but I did it because I wanted to. I did it because I wanted to. And in the early elections, the beginning to vote, that was really something different. From then, I went on to co-chair the monthly membership meeting, another step in that development. Keep encouraging me, keep pushing me on. And from there to speaking at the MTA board meetings, improving my public speaking skills to represent. I went on to represent the BRU in local events nationally and even international forums. I represented the BRU at the United Nations World Conference on Sustainability in Johannesburg, South Africa. Went on to represent with the BRU in the Strategy Center at the UN's Climate Change in Paris. This was me. Me. Who would have thought it? I never would have thought it. I mean, the UN, that was something, you saw in the movies, you really wasn't really a part of you. And all of this came from a black woman from the hood without a college degree, but the backing of a great organization, the Strategy Center. And each one of these steps, I was guided and supported by black women, Latino women, Asian Pacific Islanders, and even some white anti-racists. Yeah. How about that? Tonight, just briefly looking at my own right to self-determination, which was a word and a phrase that I learned here at the Strategy Center. Not only for myself, but what it meant for the black nation. Any nation of people to have the right to self-determination. I came to the Bus Riders Union Strategy Center like a sponge, wanting to soak up everything, afraid, understanding at the same time, ready to challenge everything that I had learned and to relearn it again. I came here, as I said, of a religious background, but for me, God didn't want me to just pray, but to fight for freedom.
Yes.
Because it was not coming without a fight. Freedom is not free. To me, not only will I put it in God's hands, but use the hands and the voice that God gave me to fight for it for myself. Woo!
That's right.
Yeah.
God gave me the speaking to fight out against the atrocities that the indigenous nation fought since 1492. And then the black nation had to fight against the U.S. since before 1619.
That's right.
These were things that were cloudy to me in my growing up, almost limited to non-existent at all. I have come to see and understand for the first time what internalized oppression looks like and feels like, and the power that I had in me as a black woman. To what I see and understand, either in the form of demonstration or horrible living conditions, was not something for me to be embarrassed about, but it was an act of resistance and in struggle. I no longer wanted to say, oh, just put it in God's hands. Leave it alone, just put it in God's hands. Oh, hell no. Those days are over, those days are over. That's why we say now, stop the MTA's attack on black passengers.
That's right.
No weapons of mass destruction in our schools or on our streets. Hello? A woman is the only one that has the right to determine what I do with my body.
That's right. That's right.
This is why I believe and say that all women should have the right to full reproductive justice.
That's right.
To become an ally of the Global South and to acknowledge that I live in the belly of the beast. How often have we heard that? I have the right and the responsibility to fight for the self-determination of all people. And that's something that makes me feel good about myself. The acknowledgement that the U.S. is one of the biggest pollutants in the world and all over the world. That is why we're calling for no cars in L.A., something I learned at the World Conference on Sustainable Development. Climate change. To be a part of the Strategy Center is like a lifeline to the development of my consciousness. I am working to build the Strategy Center and the Soul Movement Center, Film Theater. I'm also looking forward to expanding our partnership with you and your organizations and even those that we have yet to meet. I would love to meet all of you, at least a few that I haven't met already. I've been all over the place tonight. But we are fighting the racist, anti-black gentrification for LA Metro. A little water. We're fighting for a first-class bus system for the third world people. We are the third world people. Hello. Admit it. It's a good feeling. Yes, we are. We weren't, come on, our history is not here. We were brought across the water. No police on buses and trains. Hire 500 community conductors instead of police.
Yes.
2 million additional service hours. 2 million. So the damn bus can come on time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Why do we have to wait 30 minutes for a bus? Come on. 1,000 new zero emission buses. No cars in LA? Yes. Stop the drought and the famine in Africa. Stop the MTA's hostility and the corrupted treatment on public transportation and the way they treat us at MTA meetings. I was talking to one of our guests tonight, and she was talking about, she never could come to the MTA board meetings because they were always at a time that people were working. How about let's changing that? So the MTA meetings must be in person. So again, I want to close and thank you. And I am Barbara Lott-Holland, and I approve this message.
Too many people, not enough buses. That's why I ain't surprised when all I hear is curses. When I ride on this transit, what a bunch of bandits. Yo, they got the money, so they better start to handle it. This is Los Angeles, for crying out loud. You're just asking for trouble putting trains underground. The trains ain't even going to the places they should. And if they don't go to the hood, then it just ain't no good. Like the song says, you ain't getting nada from us. Not even $1 if there's no seat on the bus.